Shannon, who wins the Eastern Conference Finals, the Celtics or the Cavs?
First of all, I want to say congratulations to the Boston Celtics.
Up to the Boston Celtics.
Yes, for
yes.
dispatching the
Yeah.
Washington Wizards.
Yeah, the Wizards. Wow.
Did you see Kelly Olynyk skip last
Yeah, I
night?
did. Keep going.
26 points.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how did the Wiz let a guy that drives a 23-window VW bus with flowers painted on the side and a ponytail hit them up for 26?
I told you he was just like a hippie, right?
That's what he is.
Yeah,
Skip.
and you said he was a dirty player. I say he's a hippie. He's all peace and love.
Two things can be true.
Yeah.
Skip, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're going to say.
I know where you're stuck, but keep going.
Why am I
I can't wait to hear this.
I think it's going to be a great series.
A great series, yes.
The question is for me that I have, they've been off a very long time. LeBron just got back from the south of France. Hopefully he's not jet lagged.
Yeah.
With that was being said, how engaged will the Cavs be for 48 minutes? If they're engaged 4 straight games for 48 minutes, Skip, this will be a sweep. But I'm going to give Boston a little credit. They wanted home court for this very reason. They wanted the king to have to come to their building. Well,
He's coming. Yeah.
Be careful what you wish
Yeah.
for.
So what do you think? Cavs can, what Cavs?
4-1.
4-1?
4-1.
That's all you got?
4-1.
I thought you'd at least give Boston 2 games just so you could say, see, there is competition in the East. Right?
There
4-1?
There is competition in the East.
There's none.
But when King Kong, all the animals, he's ripping snakes apart and tearing pterodactyls half in two. LeBron James is King Kong. And the Cavs ain't got nothing on him.
So how can the little lowly Boston Celtics win 1 game against King Kong and the Cavaliers?
They're the number 1 seed.
Huh?
They're the number 1 seed.
So?
They won 53 games. Doesn't that mean something?
Did you happen to catch the first 2 games of the first round of these playoffs in Boston when the Chicago Bulls were there? Did you happen to remember what might have happened in those 2 games? Do you remember that Rondo's team won the first game by 4 and the second game by 14 to go up 2-0 going home to Chicago? When it was shockingly announced that late in that game, too, Rondo had somehow fractured his thumb and was lost for the rest of the playoffs. If that injury had not occurred, this would be tomorrow night starting out Cleveland at Chicago, game 1, and it would be a whole different story because I'd be making a strong case that D. Wade's new team could beat LeBron James.
You believe that the Bulls would have beaten the Wizards?
Absolutely, I do. Did you watch the Wizards last night? Did you see what happened? I just sat back, and again, look, Kelly Olynyk was a nice little story. He took all of Markeith's trash talk right between the eyes, and he said, watch this, I'm going to turn your trash talk to straight garbage. That was nice to see. But I kept saying, this is it. This is all this woeful conference has to offer LeBron James in the way of competition. These 2 teams going back and forth, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, and right on schedule, the star of the Wizards, the internet sensation that is John Wall, hit the wall. He's not that guy. When it comes, he's another one of those Eastern Conference guys. He's another George Paul.
George.
I'm sorry, it's Paul George. I keep getting that back.
No, you don't.
But he's another George Paul because when the chips are on the table and it's game 7 and it's nearing the 4th quarter, he starts to miss shots and he starts to shrink. And he missed his last 11 shots.
Yes, he did.
And he missed all 4 of his shots in the 4th quarter. When they had a chance, they were hanging right in there for a while until their quote-unquote superstar, who doesn't deserve to be called super or star, just disappeared. He went James Harden. He went that away. And all of a sudden, that was it.
Look.
And by the way, I got to give John Wall credit. He did hit 1 big pull-up 3 to win Game 6, but that was at home in Washington, and I immediately tweeted, I didn't think he had that in him. So I give him that. But all of a sudden, this was Game 7 in Boston, and the stage was a little too big for him.
But, Skip, you're watching this game. The Wizards are up 5 points. And why on God's green earth would they run plays for Gortat? Gortat is not a guy you run plays for, Skip. If you want buckets, Gortat, get on the offensive end, get some putbacks. If you could dive to the basket, if Beal and Wall breaks down the defense, go into the hole, you dive to the rim, we dump it off to you. Skip, they ran plays and someone today tonight, it's like, if you're the fifth receiver and they diagram a play for you, we should lose. Because if you're going to bypass me, Ed, and Rod to go to the fifth receiver that's only playing on third downs, you should lose. If you're going to go to Martin Gortat and Bradley Beal is cooking, and for a stretch there, John Wall had it going. 3 straight times they go to Gortat, turnover, turnover, turnover. So in a game that's 5 points, that could be 7, 10, or 11, 12 maybe. Now all of a sudden, a 5-point game, you're tied because you're trying to give the ball to someone that's not. Skip, can you imagine LeBron James coming down the court and say, clear out, double T, get on the block. We about to feed you. Tristan knows he gets his points on lobs, diving to the basket, offensive rebounds. That's how he gets his buckets.
Yeah, but LeBron has a lot of better options. He's got Kyrie, he's got Kevin Love, he's got Kyle Korver, he's got.
Is there any particular reason why you need to discuss my team's lineup? We good. We got this over here.
You're too good for the Leastern
We
Conference.
too good for everybody.
Yeah, you're not too good for the West, but you're too good for the Leastern Conference because, you know, I blew this because before the year started, I sat right here in this chair and I said, LeBron and company will sweep the East 12-0 in the playoffs, and they will be fully rested by the time they get to the Western Conference winner in the finals. And I got misled by the fact that LeBron's team over the final 46 games of the regular season went 23-23, and I kept saying, this is awful. They play no defense. They don't even seem to try to play any defense, and they fell all the way to, what was it, 22nd overall in defensive efficiency?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so I thought, gee, going into this playoffs, and we said, well, how many games can each team win? And I thought, well, I got to give them some credit just because I got to take away some credit from LeBron's team because they look like they're dead in the water right now. It looks like LeBron's getting old and tired and worn out. Well, that's what it looked like when you go 500 over the last 46 games of the regular season. I'm starting to wonder just how good you really are. And he's complaining about we're top heavy as you know what. We don't have enough help. We don't have this. We don't have that, right?
If LeBron James is Einstein, do you think the teachers in physics class gave Einstein extra credit?
I have
LeBron
no
don't
idea.
need no extra credit. He gonna ace the test. Did you see that guy, the young man at TCU that graduated at 14 years of age with a physics degree?
I missed that.
That's LeBron James. If this was graduation, LeBron James would be 9 years old
Yep.
with a double major.